Hey Fashionistas, and welcome back to the 31 Days of Halloween. So, as you guys might know, I was having a bunch of consecutive horrible filming days, and I was really upset about it, and I was really feeling really uninspired, so I decided to check out one of my favorite artists ever, which is Ellie35X, and I came upon this look that, just re-sparked my fire. She is so absolutely talented. You guys have to check out her Instagram account. Just every look she posts just blows me away. She has such unique style, and she's just so good. So, Ellie, if you're watching this, I hope I did you proud, and I love you. Just letting you know. Sister Neb, and thank you so much for always being there for me when I'm feeling uninspired. So you guys have to check her out. This look is 100% inspired by her. But staying true to form, we're going to go right in with the NYX eye pencil in white, and I'm going to start outlining where I want this overall mouthpiece to go. So I'm creating these etch marks right in the middle of my nose and the tops of my cheekbones, the middles of my cheekbones, and this is really where I want the mouth to begin and end. So as I'm drawing the teeth now, I won't go overboard and make it too long, too wide, make sure the angle's right, make sure it's even on both sides. But it really doesn't have to be too even, because since, if you want to take this as kind of like a demon look as I saw it, it doesn't have to be even, you know what I mean? It's very erratic, it's very grungy, one of my favorite words in the world. So you're just going in with a bunch of little U shapes and creating a bunch of teeth. From there, you want to create more of, since this is a very monster makeup, you want to start defining all of those features, like the cheekbones, the temples, the brow bone, all that stuff. And I know that this technique might be very new to some of you, so if you guys want, just take a screenshot now and then just copy exactly what I did. Going in with a white water activated face paint, this one's by Mayron. You want to just go in and fill in every single tooth. It doesn't matter if it's a stark, even white, because we're going to go in and texturize it and all that stuff and shade it. So you really meticulously just fill in every single tooth. So now I'm going with this cream paint by Makeup Forever to get a nice bone color. I wanted a pale foundation, but I wanted it to be full coverage, and this was the closest to me. You guys can totally use concealer or foundation. And then I'm going in with a red face paint by Mayron, which is water activated as well. And I'm going in with a little bit of gum lines. I'm not creating a solid U across the entire tooth. I'm kind of just sticking to the corners because I don't want it to be too even, if that makes sense. Bam. So I'm going with this eyeshadow from Make a Peek. I believe this is Friend Zone. And I'm going to use that, and I'm applying it in between each tooth. So I'm using an eyeshadow very instinctively in this moment, and I'm using the color because it's not too dark. So I'm using it to apply it to every single tooth, but I used an eyeshadow on purpose because I wanted to go back and blend it out. So you guys can see on the left side of my face, I'm blending that eyeshadow only to the left tooth. And as I get to the middle and then I get to the right side of my face, I'm going to start blending out that eyeshadow only to the right tooth. So I'm using this to add depth and shadow to create that curvature of the tooth, but I also wanted to break it up because monsters don't have pearly white fresh from the dentist's teeth. So you want to get them nice and dark. And now I'm going with a black eyeshadow. I'm a little bit defining the bottom row of that the bottom of the top row of teeth, and then I'm using it to shade down a little bit, so that top row of teeth has a little bit of depth where it's above that second row. And then I'm also using it to pull up just a teensy bit to help define each individual tooth. I really hope that made sense because I think I just confused myself. But now I'm going in with the Tarte Double Take eyeliner, which you guys know. I'm obsessed with it. It gives me the tiniest lines I've ever had. And you want to just go in and you want to outline every single individual tooth, but then also on some of them you guys can see that I'm pulling down a little bit and I'm creating a little bit of almost cracks and erratic marks. It's for that, that distressed vibe, just to help so every tooth isn't perfectly even. But you want to do that to every single tooth. So starting on the top row, middle row, bottom row. From there, I'm using black water activated face paint. If you guys are going to wear this out for Halloween, I would use a black gel liner because water activated face paints will diffuse. But as always, I'm turning my lights down because I think they're a little too bright. There we go. So again, you guys will just use a gel liner around your mouth. So if you guys are eating or drinking, you won't get broken up. But I'm using that same face paint now to create super depth and hollow from the top and middle row of teeth. And you also want to apply that to your nose. And this is going to be all the negative spaces. So this looks like it could actually be your mouth. If this makeup were to really exist, it would have curvature. So I'm taking a dark gray eyeshadow and I'm blending the outer row of all of these teeth to create that bend, that these teeth are farther behind the face and they're more in shadow, and then the front teeth have more of a highlight. I popped in my sclera lenses, which are from scleralenses.com. They'll be linked down below. But I'm going back in with Friend Zone now, and I'm going to use that to start adding shape to my overall face. So I'm using it in the temples, contouring my forehead. We're going to do it around the cheekbones and around the brow bone. And right now the nose and the sides of or underneath the eye. So you really just want to start getting movement because, it is very flat. So you want to start adding those lights and those shadows to start bending to create the illusion of movement. You know what I'm saying? Perfect. Great. So I'm going back in with that the Tarte Double Take felt tip eyeliner, and I am just outlining the hollow eye marks. Again, because this felt tip can give me a really nice sharp line. So I'm just using that to draw out the initial shape, and then we're going to fill it in with black face paint. I'm using black face paint on purpose again because my eyes are hooded, and it's going to break up around my eye, which I kind of want. Since this is a monster, I don't mind breaking it up. When I don't want anything to break up and I want it to really hold on to that makeup, I would use a black gel liner and set it with a black eyeshadow on top to really seal it in. But for this one, I don't mind the breakup. But I'm taking the other side of that Double Take eyeliner from Tarte, and it has a kohl pencil in it. I'm not sure if it's a kohl pencil, but there's a pencil in it. And I use that to do my waterline. And then I'm going back in with Friend Zone with a little bit of a deeper brown shade, and I'm going to contour out these areas even more. So I'm doing the temples, I'm doing around the cheekbone area, I'm bringing it in right here into like the curvature of the teeth, and then I'm going in with a black eyeshadow to deepen that even further. So you want to start adding your like super shading. It doesn't have to be soft, it doesn't have to be super well blended. It is a very, I don't want to say the grungy word, but I'm going to. It's a very grungy makeup. And so it looks better if it's more distressed. I should have said distressed. So I'm taking that Friend Zone eyeshadow now too, and I'm shading it in between each tooth, and that's going to add curvature for the gums. That would be below the teeth on the actual face. So it helps add more interest in movement. And then going in with a cream white face paint. Now this one's from Makeup Forever. I'm highlighting in all of these areas where I want to bring the face forward. And I wanted to really do the midtones with some shadows, highlight, and then we're going to go in with that Tarte eyeliner again, and we're going to really define everything, and that's when it's really going to pop. But right now I'm going in with the black face paint that's mostly dry on my brush, and I'm just adding a little bit of darker shadows now too to these areas to really get this like curvature and this movement in this sunken in monster face. If you guys are new to this, a nice rule of thumb is that if there's a highlight there should be a shadow to accompany it. They're like dating. So if you put a highlight anywhere, you kind of really want to get a shadow to hug the side of it, and that's only going to enhance it further. If that makes sense. If you guys are kind of like first coming into learning how to do makeup, that's a nice little rule of thumb. So now I'm taking that black gel liner or felt tip liner again, and I'm kind of just doing these like straight erratic line marks. So I'm really going off of Ellie's reference image because it was just perfect in its full glory. But I also am using a little bit of techniques. If you guys watched my sorcerer makeup tutorial where I kind of used that felt tip eyeliner to really hug these highlights and to create like a cracked, almost like a skull. So I'm kind of like melding the two of those together, but I'm using that now to create these erratic lines, but then also to redefine the teeth with all the blending and stuff that we've been doing. You might have lost that line, the eyeshadow might have covered it, so you want to just go back in and enhance all that further, but then you really want to create these like jagged, almost like it's drawing, if that makes sense. It was beautifully done, Ellie, and I love it if you're watching, but yeah, just create, all of these like super solid lines, and then, go in more and add more depth and all of that good stuff, and then just do that to both sides. I popped on this costume, which is a straight jacket from wholesalehalloweencostumes.com, which you guys know I do have a coupon code for them, so if you guys are going to do one of my makeup looks or not, definitely don't pay full price, dude. That's crazy. But I'm going in with some black face paint. I'm just distressing it because this makeup is so distressed. It looked kind of weird that the straight jacket was a stark, clean white. So I'm just going in with a little bit of black face paint to really break it up to help meld the two of them together. And then as you guys can see, I did put some black face paint on my neck and my ears to help tie that in as well. As I mentioned before, the costume, the contacts, and all the makeup that I used will be in the description box below, but that's the finished tutorial, homies. So I really hope that you guys liked it, and I really want you guys to go check out Ella35X on Instagram. Tell her I sent you, tell her I love her, and thank her so much for being there for me when I'm feeling super uninspired. So I really hope that you guys like this look, and I will see you guys tomorrow night. Bye, friends.